Well then guys, got some really quite interesting news today for you all. There is going to be a Nightbreed TV series. This is something which I think is really worth a conversation in the comment section, to be perfectly honest. Clive Barker is going to be on hand to be producing this TV series. It's going to be written, however, by Josh Stolberg, who did Jigsaw and Piranha, and it's going to be over on SYFY. Now, quite an interesting take on this franchise itself. It's an adaptation. It's not in reference to the movie, but it's somewhat similar. You can kind of get the same tone, but essentially what Deadline have reported is that the film will follow a group of underground half-human, half-monsters, we know, the Nightbreed, seeking to find a new refuge and home after their original hiding place is destroyed. Leading these efforts is a recently turned reluctant hero who not only is adjusting to his new supernatural status, but is also dealing with the grief and misery surrounding the death of his fiancée. Will this group band together despite being hunted and persecuted by humans who find their otherness to be frightening? So, that is really interesting. The executive producers on this series is going to be James G. Robinson, David Robinson, Barbara Wall, and Barker, basically. So in reference to Barker and his involvement, he stated the following: "This story has been near to my heart for many years. I'm beyond thrilled that SYFY and UCP are taking this journey with us, and I cannot wait to see it brought to life on the screen." Now, all of the producers and things are obviously kind of bigging this production up. David Robinson had stated the following: "There's never been a more relevant time for us to turn to one of the genre's great cult classics from our movie library to impact the national conversation with bold, compelling, and unconventional storytelling." The team at Morgan Creek is very excited to partner with Clive Barker, SYFY, and Universal Cable Productions on Nightbreed for a unique, trenchant, and no-holds-barred exploration of race relations in today's society. As a sophisticated twist on the classic graphic novel form, Nightbreed pits humans against persecuted monsters, using metaphor and parable to take on bias and prejudice with real-world consequences. So, look, the initial comments on this were more promising, and then you hear David Robinson's kind of statement on this, basically saying this is going to be an outlet for a national conversation with respect to race and culture. Which, look, I know a lot of people will jump on this and go, well, fucking SJWs are infecting our TV series now as well. Our cult classics, that's it, we're done. Might as well just kill ourselves. I mean, if you look at the original and Cabal and things, there's somewhat of an undertone of that. It's not massive. If they really take this forward in that fashion, and they are really pushing it with regards to a reflection in a mysterious fantasy world, but a reflection of modern day society, then that's going to be a real big issue for me. I will have a problem with that. I don't mind it when it's done intelligently and smartly with TV series. This is going to seem like a really odd comparison, but American Horror Story Cult did that in a really smart way. Genuinely. I believe so anyway. And, well, national conversation, not with regards to race and things, but it pushed forward, a conversation of modern day society in a smart way, which did genuinely make you think in some form or another, whether you liked it or you hated it. It sure as hell got people talking and thinking. This sounds potentially like it will quite literally just be another outlet for a conversation of, race and creed and just, I don't know. I was initially really excited about this. I got up and I had my coffee and I sat down and I checked the news like I normally do. And I saw this and I thought, yes, holy shit, this is going to be amazing. We've been hearing about Clive Barker working on many things for so long. And now we seem to get real confirmation that something's going to be happening. And then I read that, and then it really did put me off. So I guess the news report part is over, and now I'm kind of just spewing my own thoughts. But like I said, I want to have a conversation with you guys. Would you, having not heard the last bit of that report, would you have been interested in this? Was this something which you would have looked at and gone, yeah, I really like the sound of that. There's going to be, we're following the Nightbreed. They're trying to find a new home, a refuge. Their original home was destroyed. They got some grief and misery. Would you have been interested in that? Do you think that it would have been good? With respect to even the humans hunting them and persecuting them. To me, when I read that, I thought, yep, this is solid. We could get a real fantastical journey through a new world. It doesn't have to be in one place. You can travel, you can see new places. It could be even done out in the open, not alone with just set pieces. It could be done on location. And I thought to myself, that could be absolutely fantastic. I thought that really, really could. It doesn't have to rely on dark, damp, horrible looking locations, were set pieces anyway. And it could be done in a really, really smart way. Especially Josh Stolberg's good. I mean, Jigsaw, good. Especially with some of the scenes there. Jigsaw's great. Piranha, meh, put that to one side. But he's not bad. And I read that and I went, yeah, this could be something really, really good. And then I read the last bit. The bit by David Robinson. Where he says, there has never been a more relevant time for us to turn one of the genre's great cult classics from our movie library to impact the national conversation with bold, compelling and unconventional storytelling. That part really, that really worries me. That really, really does worry me. And Clive Barker, even Clive Barker being on board. This is a man who's very rarely on board for anything. But I believe some of this is probably money problems with respect to Clive Barker at the moment. He's, his health hasn't, as far as I'm aware anyway, his health hasn't been the best. And, he's not exactly earning a great deal of money from his literature work at the moment or even his film work. So I would assume a lot of that is definitely money motivated by Clive. But it's nice to see him so at least sounding like he's invested. He's very rarely ever invested by these things. So I don't know. I read all of that and I was excited, and then I caught that last bit where he just says, there has never been a more relevant time for us to turn to one of the genre's great cult classics from our movie library to impact the national conversation. Why? Why does it have to? Why does our media have to reflect modern conversations of what is going on in the real world? Why? I understand it's a good use and it can work really well, but this is a franchise which I really don't think can work. I genuinely don't. I think you're going to end up with the humans either representing humans and the Nightbreed representing... I mean, hell, look, the Nightbreed could even... With respect to it being in America, the Nightbreed could represent anyone. Could represent Muslims, Mexicans, literally anyone, for goodness sake. They could even have it in terms of, race. It could just be blacks versus whites. And this is what I'm afraid of. This is genuinely what I think it could fall into. So it's a real big shame, and even if they don't turn it into that, they could even, put it somewhere else and have it in terms of refugees and things like that. And I just think it really does run the risk of turning something which could be absolutely fantastic into something so negative. And I know I've been negative about it, but I started out super, super positive, and then I read that, and it was that line which got me. It was just that little bit. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this? I know this has been a long video, but I really wanted to really get my thoughts out there. So I know it's been a news piece / a bit of a podcast, and I do apologise for that, but if you enjoyed it, then let me know, because I can do a little bit more like this. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Is this something that you share my sentiment, or does this really excite you beyond caring about that line of it reflecting the national conversation? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, sorry you had to listen to all this, but hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Guys, please do hit that thumbs up button. That really helps me out here on the channel. I've been Mr. H, and I will catch you in the next video.